Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be answering some of you guys' personal questions. So this is not a fragrance related video. It's just a personal Q&A. I actually put up a community tab post a while ago. Let me actually see the date. Oh, 4 months ago I posted this, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about it, but I sometimes get comments like, hey, when are you gonna film your Q&A? So here I am answering a lot of your questions. A lot of questions were fragrance related, and I'm gonna try not to answer fragrance related questions in this video because I want to make dedicated videos to a lot of some of these questions as far as fragrance questions. So even though I am not answering them today, I will be answering them at some point and just a lot more in depth. So this video, I'm mainly just going to answer some personal questions that you guys have about me. This is a little bit of a get to know me. I like to do these videos every once in a while on my channel. Even though my channel is about fragrance, I do want to make it more personable, and I don't want to just be yapping on here about perfume and you guys just know nothing about me. Because personally for me, with everybody that I watch, I like their personalities and I want to know about them, not just whatever they're talking about. Because at the end of the day, if you want to know anything about perfumes, you can go on Google. You don't need a person telling you. So with that said, let's get into your questions. I'm probably not going to get to all of them because there was quite a few, but I'm going to start at the very beginning of your questions. So the first question is, how do you treat and manage your Hashimoto's? I take medication for it. I had a whole thing that happened recently in regards to my Hashimoto's, and a doctor that was just over medicating me basically. I take Synthroid, I take it every morning, but I was on a pretty high dose that this doctor had pretty much increased my dose for absolutely no reason, even though my levels, my TSH, my T3, my T4, they were all good with the dose that I was previously on, and he just decided to up my dose. Obviously I'm not a doctor, so you expect to go to doctors and they know more. So I started taking the higher dose and it completely screwed me up. I actually went from hypothyroidism, which is how I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, and I became hyperthyroid because my thyroid levels were pretty much non-existent. It was at a almost dangerous level, and there was just a whole thing that happened with that. It caused a really bad spike in my anxiety, and just so much happened. I can't even begin to get into all of that in this video. A lot of things happened. I'm okay now. I'm doing so much better, but it was a very rough last few months, I'll just say that. And the way that I'm treating it now is I have very regular blood work done just to see my levels, and with the dose that I'm on now, which is a lot lower than I ever was on, and yeah, things are slowly getting back to normal. But I guess my biggest advice is be your own advocate. You know, definitely go to doctors and find a good one. do some research on a really good one. I thought I was going to a really great doctor, but apparently not. In the future, do you and your husband want kids someday? Yes, we definitely want kids, but definitely in the future. There are so many things that we want to do, especially right now, and so many plans that we have. As you guys know, we are going to be moving out of the country, so we just want to get our life a little bit more started, and with the whole move, we just want to be situated and in just more of a stable environment, and we want to do a lot of traveling, which we haven't really gotten to do. So yeah, definitely want kids, just not right now. Are you still moving to Europe? Yes, I got a lot of these questions. Definitely still moving to Europe. Like I said, there was a lot of things that came up health-wise and just life things, because you know, when you're an adult, it's one after the other. So we're working towards it, and we are going to be moving. I'm not going to say when. You guys are just going to know when I moved. I just want to stop sharing things that are very personal. Evil eye is a real thing, and you know, most people do want to see you succeed, but there's a lot of people that want to see you not succeed out there. And I feel like with anything, whether it's good or bad, just don't share it. I do like to share to my audience, especially people that truly are interested in my life and you want to know what's going on, but I'm always weary about sharing too much. That's why my life is pretty private for the most part, and nobody really knows anything about me or going on in my life because I choose to keep it that way, you know? What are the stories behind your tattoos? I get so many questions about my tattoos on like a daily basis almost, either in real life or obviously in my YouTube comments. You guys see them all the time. Not now, I'm wearing a long sleeve, so I'm all covered up. I have a lot of tattoos at this point. I think I have over 30, and they're kind of everywhere. But I do plan on doing a tattoo tour and I want to do it pretty soon. I waited for a while because I wanted to be kind of done for a good minute with getting tattoos before I filmed a tour. And I think now I'm in a good place. I don't think I'm going to be getting any more tattoos, at least for a little bit. Not never, because I love tattoos. But yeah, just stay tuned and I will be making a whole tattoo tour because there's a lot of meaning behind all of my tattoos. Did you ever get in trouble in school? Detention, suspension, etc.? No. I never got detention. I think it was called like ISS. No, nothing like that. Actually, I think once I may have gotten like a letter as like a warning or something like that about potentially getting ISS, because especially my junior year and my senior year of high school, I started driving and I would wake up late and just drove to school late. So my first period I would always be late, and I think there was like a certain amount of tardies that you could get before they put you in ISS, and I think I got a letter or something, or like a warning. I never actually went to ISS though. But yeah, for anything serious or crazy like that, no, I never got in trouble. I was pretty quiet. I kept to myself, didn't really talk much. So YouTube is / has always been your only income source. Not always, obviously. It is now because I'm doing pretty good, but definitely not initially. When you start off, you make nothing, like literally nothing. You have to hit that certain amount of subscribers and watch time hours before you can apply for ad revenue. Then you apply for ad revenue, and initially it's very low, almost non-existent. The more you post, the more engagement you get, the more views you get, subscribers and everything like that, that number grows. And I'm really lucky that YouTube has gone really great for me. And then the sponsorships start to come in and brands reaching out to you, and then you have to kind of filter through those and find the right ones to work with, pick your rates, which also has to do with your analytics. You gotta just know all of that. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. I feel like people just think, oh, it's a new video to watch, but there's a lot that goes into it, especially when you're a one-man show and doing everything. A lot of YouTubers, when they get to a certain point, they do hire managers and stuff to keep up with emails and land them really good deals and stuff like that. I do not have a manager currently. I'm still at a point where I can do everything myself, but I am getting a lot more busy, so I think maybe eventually I would think about getting a manager, but I don't think anytime soon because I think I'm doing a pretty good job at handling things myself. To answer your question, it wasn't always. I've been working since I was 16, and I've worked a lot of retail jobs, and I was in the service industry. The last job that I had was actually working at Target, which started off pretty good, and then they got new management and it just became a whole mess. I had started YouTube a little bit before I had started my work at Target, but once I saw that YouTube was picking up, I just wanted to put all my focus into this, and that's a huge risk because at that time it's not like I was making a very substantial amount of income, but luckily I had my husband's support at that time, so he kind of supported me while I picked things up, and now I'm at a really great spot where I'm comfortably making a living. So yes, YouTube can be really great. It's just a lot of work, just like any job. I'm so grateful to have this job because this has been quite literally the best job I've ever had. I am my own boss. I do everything myself, and even though it is a lot of work because I'm doing everything myself, it's just so much more rewarding because of that. Are you planning on having a baby anytime soon? No. I got a lot of these, are you having a baby, and all these questions. No, not anytime soon. I want a baby, but not anytime soon. Are you still moving to Greece? Yes, I am. We're gonna be kind of traveling in a lot of places in Europe before we kind of really settle down in one certain place. We're gonna test out a bunch of places. I think Greece will eventually become our home. I just love that freaking country and it's amazing. Favorite Greek food? Everything Greek. Greek is my favorite kind of food, like Mediterranean food, all day and every day. And I just wish we had more places here like that, but even the Greek restaurants or whatever, it's like nothing is authentic. It's not even close to the real stuff. Greek food is the best food in my opinion. Have you ever worked in a company connected with perfume / cosmetics? Yes, I worked at Ulta for a year more. I don't even remember. But yeah, that was also a mess. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'd like to know, how long have you been with your husband, and does he have a vast fragrance collection for a man? He does not have a vast fragrance collection. He's one of those people that just buys something, uses it, and then goes and buys a refill. Like, he does not do what I do, which I applaud him for. I wish I was like that, but I just, with fragrance especially, I have to catch them all. And we've been together for coming up on 7 years, which is crazy. Like, how has all this time flown by? I don't know, but yes, we've been together for 7 years. What's the love story with you and your husband? It's rare to have a successful marriage so young. Would love to hear yours. It is definitely rare to have a successful marriage, especially in this day and age. My husband and I talk about this all the time. I don't know what we would do if we were single or hadn't found each other, because it's a whole mess out there, and I would not want to be dating in this world. And so I'm very happy and lucky to have found him. We met at work. I was a hostess at the time that we met, and he had just started working at the restaurant that I was working at, and it was love at first sight. I know that sounds so cringy and cheesy, but it truly was. It was just one of those things where you just know, and we both knew the second we had laid eyes on each other. And something that's really weird about us is that in Albania, we're both Albanian. Back when he lived in Albania, he was very close to the city that I was born in. So even on the other side of the world, we were like 5 minutes away from each other. Then we ended up moving across the other side of the world to the US in the same city, and we had a lot of mutual friends and things like that. Like, for example, I remember my family knew this one family, and we would go to their house all the time, and they had a son, and my husband was friends with their son. And when I was over at these people's house with my parents, just like visiting them, my now husband would be hanging out with his son, which I barely paid attention to him. He didn't pay attention to me at that time, but it's just like so many times we were in the same room almost as each other, but we didn't know, and then we just kind of ended up meeting at the perfect time. So it's just crazy. We believe that we are each other's soulmates, because I mean, I feel like we are. I don't click with a lot of people, but with him it was just immediate, because I'm a very like closed off person, and I am very loud and talkative and fun and bubbly, but only with the right people, and he's the right. So those are all the questions that I'm going to be answering. I'll probably make a part 2 or another video. I filmed a lot of videos today, so I feel like my voice is just so strained and pretty much gone. But I hope I answered some of your questions. There's so many more questions that you guys asked, so I will get to them eventually. If you want, you can leave more questions in the comments of this video, and I'll round up the leftover questions from that community tab as well as the ones I get on this video, and I will make sure to answer them in a future Q&A for you guys. But that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and turn your post notifications on, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.